we are going to vote on ask for a motion for the budget ones, number 11 and 12. We're going to do, before we get into any kind of a block, we're going to motion for, we'll do a roll call, I guess, for number
We
11.
could exclude those and then do them.
What other, the next one's on the list, so we'll do those two and then we'll go to the block.
All right.
That's okay with
Excellent.
so we will do a roll call for, we need the motion.
17 and 17.
Yeah, we're gonna pull out, at some point, we'll do a block with number 11, 12, 17, A, B, 18, 19, and 20. We will do individuals. And then we will vote in the block, we will do number 13 through 16, and number 21 through 43K will be our block consent for that vote. So, we have a motion for number 11.
I move that the Board of Education adopt the 2023-2024 fiscal year tentative budget showing estimated available resources of $63,550,822 and estimated expenditures and ending fund balance in the amount of $63,550,822, establishing real estate tax millage of 11.8228 with a 2% discount of the whole amount of the tax paid within 2 months after the date of the tax notice. Payment at base if the tax is paid within 2 months following the end of the discount period. Penalty of 10% on all taxes not paid within 4 months after the date of the tax notice.
Second.
Motion was made by Mr. Wood, seconded by Mr. Gambita. Ms. Emmett, will you do the roll call, please?
Mr. Hope?
Yes?
Mrs. DeCiato? No. Mr. Gogalski?
Yes.
Mr. Gershi?
Yes.
Mr. Gambita?
Yes.
Mr. Auckland?
Yes.
And Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. On for a motion.
I would just like to suggest, based on the fact that we only had 3 people at the budget, 3 people from the public at our budget meeting last week, and the fact that this is a tentative budget, not a final, but within the next month, anyone who can't support, you know, how to come up with an alternative. In other words, what should we do then,
Yes.
is my thought, so.
Anyway, absolutely. I know Mr. Anslin actually voiced that, I said the same thing to him. If we have a solution or an idea that you think will work, please bring it.
I am open to any other.
Options, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Gershi. Everyone okay with that? We'll move on to number 12. Move the motion for that one, please.
I move that the Board of Education adopt the attached 2023-2024 tax resolution.
Second.
Motion was made by Mr. Wood, seconded by Mr. Gogolski. Do a roll call on that, please?
Mr. Hope?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCiato?
Yes.
Mr. Gogalski?
Yes.
Mr. Gershi?
Yes.
Mr. Gambita?
Yes.
Mr. Auckland?
Yes.
And Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Let's see, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna skip number 13 and 14, or through 16 for now. We'll go on to number 17. And then we'll do the block consent after we do these individual. So I'd like to pull out number 17, AB, number 18, 19, and 20. So a motion for number 17, election of the board treasurer, please.
I'd like to nominate Dina DeCiato for board treasurer.
I'll second it.
All right, are there any other nominations for board treasurer? Okay, all in favor of Mrs. DeCiato as our new treasurer, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed by saying no? Any abstentions? Congratulations, Mrs. DeCiato.
Thank you.
sure that you
And
will.
I'm gonna miss Jeff.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you will use all your knowledge to continue to do that job as Mr. Gregolski has for the last, 7.5 years or 8 years now? And thank you, Mr. Gregolski. I know you've been very thorough and really paid attention trying to make sure that our budget is in line.
I second that.
Third,
Thank you, guys.
We all feel the same.
We do.
Number 18, the board treasurer's salary. Can we have a motion for that, please?
I move that the Board of Education approve the amount of $3,000 for the board treasurer's salary for the 2023-2024 school year.
That motion was made by Mr. Wood, second by Mr. Hockland.
Yes.
Oh, your head was down, I can't even hear you this close, come on. Nobody can hear you back there, there we go. We'll try. All right, so that motion was made by Mr. Wood, second by Mr. Hockland. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed by saying no? Motion carries. On to number 19, the board treasurer's bond. A motion for that, please.
I move that the Board of Education approve the public officials treasurer's bond at $25,000 for the 2023-2024 school year at an estimated cost of $250.
I second it.
Motion was made by Mr. Wood, and seconded by Mr. Gambino. Any further discussion on that? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed by saying no? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Last one for the single out here, number 20. Motion for that, please.
I recommend the donation of the board treasurer's salary to the Western Wayne Girls Wrestling Team in the amount of $3,000.
Second that.
Motion was made by Mrs. DeCiato and seconded by Mr. Gregolski. Any further discussion on that? Thank you, Mrs. DeCiato, that's generous of you to donate that back to the girls, and I'm sure they'll appreciate it. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed by saying no? Any abstentions? That motion carries.
Mr. President, because Dana has now been elected treasurer,
Very good. Well,
should we need to,
yes, we need to appoint a vice president.
she needs to resign as, and then,
So we do not have that motion on the agenda, so we're gonna add two. One will be, if at the discretion of the board, first we will need to vote to add the two agenda items. We will add resignation as board vice president of Mrs. DeCiato. And then I'd like to nominate Mr. Gambita as our new vice president to take over immediately.
I'll second that. Can I second that?
So
we
we
will-
will.
Not yet.
Oh.
not yet, wait,
Yeah,
first
so
we have to
first-
make the motion to
Yeah.
add
Gotcha.
two agenda items.
So I'll
I
make
thought
that
you said
motion.
he was making.
I am gonna make a motion that we will add those two agenda items.
And I'll second that.
Okay, so a motion to add those two agenda items made by me and seconded by Mr. Wood. All in favor, signify by saying, any further discussion on that? We know what we're adding. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed by saying no? Any abstentions? Okay, then we'll move on with the first agenda item, will be a motion to accept the resignation as vice president of Mrs. DeCiato. May I have that motion, please?
I make that motion.
Should be seconded. Motion was made by Mr. Gershi and seconded by Mr. Auckland. Any further discussion? Mrs. DeCiato, thank you for the couple of years of service. As you know, it was a very strenuous job. And you know what you're getting into, Mr. Gambino? Your name will appear on some more stationery.
Just don't send meetings, Rick.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed by by saying no. Any abstentions? Again, thank you, Mrs. DeCiotto, for your service. On to the next motion that we're going to add will be the motion to make this nomination, I should say, to make Mr. Gambita the vice president.
I recommend that Joe Gambita be appointed the vice president of the board.
I'll second that.
That motion was made by Mrs. DeCiotto, seconded by Mr. Gogolski. Are there is there any further discussion? You ready for that? Awesome, okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed by saying no? Any abstentions? Congratulations, Mr. Gambita, and the new title. Thank you. All right. Now we'll go back to finish up our agenda. We will look at a block consent for numbers 13 through 16 and numbers 21 through 43K. I'm sorry,
L.
43L. I have K written there. Thank you. We revise that 13 through 16 and 21 through 43L.
I will make that motion as you described it.
Motion
I'll second it as Bill described it.
is, Joe, your responsibility too is to jump in and second everything, okay? So our motion was made by Mr. Gershie, seconded by Mr. Wood. Any further discussion on any of those agenda items? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed by saying no? Any abstentions? Okay, that block consent motion carries. That gets us pretty much to the end. The informational items Dr. Barrett read during the work session, so everyone is aware of all those dates coming up in May. Graduation is just over a month away, so.
Is that what, both of them are on there?
So we have a couple, there's a lot going on in May. There are a few items there that we, Knoebel's trip coming up for what grades? Do you know off the top of your head? Because I don't recall.
May 19th and 26th.
May 19th and 26th. Are those correct dates for the Knoebel, some kind of Knoebel trip?
going one day in advance.
So we have it right. And then the June 6th and June 7th, we had the Middle and Evergreen, or the TSSAs that we were talking about, or something, those dates? Oh, no, that was the moving up ceremony. Moving up ceremony. That's pretty late in the year for PSSAs. Yeah, so we will add, we'll make sure those couple of items get added onto the website. Right?
I did check, they are on the website. It's probably on
They
the
are, they're already on
website.
there? Very good. They just weren't on our agenda, just so that they're out there for the public. All right, let's see, we have approval of volunteers.
Yeah, that was just a typo. It's
Okay.
in there twice. That was the motion that was already done.
All right, that motion was already done. Any correspondence? We've got all the reports that we've had a chance, everyone's had a chance to look at. Federal programs report, there was nothing? Okay, any other business that any other members, board members would like to speak about? Ms. Watson, you have something?
I'm sorry, I forgot to add, we were able to start a boys STEM club to kind of provide equity for all the students in 4th and 5th grade, but I forgot to mention it before. So we started that, and they'll compete in-house against each other. So I just wanted the board to be aware of it.
Boss ladies still rule. So.
Listen, those girls,
Like
when
all
they,
the boys,
I was like, I wouldn't mess with that group of girls. They were on fire. They were on fire. So, but
That is awesome. It's so much fun to hear about all their success.
What grade levels did you say?
4th and 5th grade at both RD and Evergreen.
Anybody else have anything to add? Going once, going twice. Okay. Future meetings, June 7th, 2023 at 6 p.m. We'll do our board work session in the admin building here, immediately followed by the public board meeting and the final adoption of the general fund budget for 23-24. Meetings we held on April 26th at 6 p.m. was a special meeting for the presentation of the narrative budget. Thank you, Ms. Emmett, as always, did a fantastic job for us. April 5th, we had an executive session for personnel and legal prior to the board work session and following the regular board meeting. And that's all of the informational items that we have. Meeting adjourned.